Good morning, everyone. Welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser. It's Monday. Grumpy is here as always. Not as grumpy. We'll talk about that. There's some stuff to be grumpy about, that's for sure. But ultimately, it was a win. I know it didn't feel like it. It still doesn't feel like it because it ended with so much like frustration at the end. But if you think about it, all we wanted was before going into the weekend, just win, right? I remember like a couple of people saying just win, and we did just do that and we won. But it just feels like there was so much frustration at the end that it just did not feel like a win. I left that game more angry than satisfied or happy somehow. It was just how the last 10-15 minutes were played. There were a lot of stuff to get pissed at, in terms of Spurs. And on top of that, the way we played and we reacted and how we handled the last 10-15 minutes. So the combination of that was pretty explosive. I could tell on Discord that was the case for a lot of people, actually. And then obviously on social media, you see it as well. We actually had a post going out, and I find it's interesting point I think to like to talk about, and we'll probably talk about a little bit this morning as well. But if you look at the responses, I think it's very split in terms of like where the responsibility lies with that. I don't even want to say a collapse, but probably panic maybe is a better word for the end of that match over there. Ryan, good morning, sir. Why took me out afterwards so I could touch grass. Um, well, it's way too cold over. There's no grass. I mean, there's grass to touch, but if Angel took me out afterwards, it'd be more torturous, to be honest with you, because it is cold as hell over here. But no, it was just weird. Like I say, it just ended in such a note that there was like a lot of like frustration at the end. So, but it is 3 points. It's a streak. Obviously, the Isak injury answered as well, because at the time, at least, we thought it was going to be like the entire season or a full year, like an ACL, MCL kind of thing. Sounding like, it is the broken leg, which is, I mean, it's weird to say, but it's better in the sense that, you don't have to, it's not as long of a time period. And a broken leg is something different to come back from as opposed to like an ACL, MCL kind of a deal. I think a lot of the comments and fears were, you never come back the same. Whereas broken leg is like something like totally different. And I think, we'll address that probably too. But, the criticism that he got for being injured, which I find it over the top. I know we had a lot of concerns initially when we were signing him and spending that much money. I know like it was kind of like a discussion, hey, his injury history and stuff. But I mean, this is just kind of like a freak injury out of like a tackle and stuff like that. So hey, Kazi, if you want to hop on, you can hop on. It's that kind of morning. It's Christmas. It's gonna be like Santa over here. So let me send you, I guess, an invite to hop on if you want to hop on. I will be on with like Gally later on as well. Bickler is traveling, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of chatter about this. But I thought it was kind of like an interesting overall weekend. And I like, like on social media, some of the stuff we posted and asked, I find some of the answers kind of like interesting. Let me get our friend Kazi going over here, and we'll go from there. So yeah, it was the Isak injury probably adds to that frustration at the ends where we are kind of like flustered, worried, disappointed. Because I mean, literally when the goal was scored, I was like, that's why you pay him the big bucks, because he gets into that situation. I mean, that was our, what is that, 200, 300 million in effect at the same time, right? I mean, it was like Wirtz, perfect pass, like perfectly paced pass. I know it doesn't look like, he just like rolled it there, but it is like perfectly paced for him to come onto and shooting it and scoring it and finishing. You're like, this is exactly what we paid for. 300 million well spent kind of a thing. It was like, we're going to see a lot more of this. And then Isak gets injured. I think that was a huge part of the disappointments of that game. Like, so you already had that feeling, and then the last 10 minutes happens, and then Spurs playing dirty as hell is another deal, which I was like, I mean, it's one thing to say it was always the same players though, like in Sundays. I mean, you would say normally, oh, they're playing like tougher, like a little dirtier, blah blah blah, but that wasn't really the case. It was the same jackasses in Richarlison and Romero. How a team says, the only way I can see them making Romero a captain is they were like, he's gonna freaking go talk to the ref anyway. We'll make him a captain, so at least he doesn't see yellows for that. How you make the dirtiest, most complaining, the guy probably who's been the most red carded, possibly in Spurs history. I mean, we'll have to go back and look at this, but really could possibly be the guy who has seen the most red cards in Tottenham history. How they make him a club captain is beyond me. That's literally asking for it. He's a dirty player, first of all, and so like some of the stuff he was doing, but his complaining, his ref relations, like I don't know who came up with that. Like I say, the only thing I can come up with is they didn't want him getting yellows for talking to the ref. We're like, we're not gonna be able to stop that shit. Let's just make him the captain, so at least he doesn't get a yellow for that. Is the only thing I can think of over there. Ozan is in the house. Brian, good morning. I guess, right? But I mean, I think Romero is worse than making Fernandez captain. And we kind of like, we always talked about with Edip on like Rival Bros and stuff in terms of like Fernandez being captain. Like he's not even like the leader on the pitch in terms of the play, like everything goes through him or anything. Not to mention he has a history. It's something about, you can have a history of complaining to the ref and you'll be like, hey, we should have this guy talk to the ref. He's going to talk to the ref anyway. But he's like a dirty player who has seen red cards over and over and over again. So for him to be a captain at the same time, I couldn't believe he was the captain. I was like, why aren't we showing him a yellow? And I was like, oh shit, he's the captain. I just find that like really shocking over there. Also shocking is Kazi on a Monday morning. What's going on, man?
Mate, it's Monday morning. I seen you all alone, and I went, well, come on, I'll come and support the lad here.
Matush is selling jewelry to the power, for those last minute people. So normally Matush does not work Mondays. But obviously with the Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and obviously he's gonna have Christmas off, so he is over there selling some expensive jewelry to folks trying to get out of the doghouse.
The prince is selling some jewels, is what you're telling me. The prince is selling the Polish jewels there. I can see what you mean.
So where are you at, man? I was like talking about like how kind of like a frustrating and weird game it was. Normally you would say you were one of the people who would just win, right? Like it doesn't matter, just go out there and win. So you would think when you turn off the TV or walk away from the room, you would be like, good, we got a streak going over here. Like I don't think I've felt worse after a loss in quite some time.
Yeah, it wasn't a loss. So that's the funny part.
It felt like one, yeah, exactly.
Just this team at the moment, man, they just leave you asking more, give you more questions than answers after every single game. They don't really. And listen, that was the state that they were in. Like a few weeks ago, of course, you would have taken this. This is the point. It's not like, I don't think Liverpool are being overly creative in games. I don't think we're not taking many chances in games. But it has to start somewhere, Tim, and I've got to give the manager credit for that. Like, as much as I don't think we're playing well, and as much as it still feels, I don't want to say it feels like the end, because the manager's kind of building on something, as much as it still doesn't feel like you can do this long term, let's say, play it this way, long term, the manager's getting results, and that's all I care about right now. Liverpool can't be 10th in the league. If Liverpool finish 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and we play this way till the end of the season, then I'll take it, and then you can kind of rebuild from there. So, yeah, it's just, I've never seen a bunch of lads lose their head so quickly in a game, and that's mentality of where they've been in the last 2 months, where you can go down to 9 men and then can't get the ball. Like, you're playing against 9 men and can't get the ball. Like, that's, to me, is absolutely bizarre.
But when you have the ball.
And when you have the ball,
it wasn't like, let's
Jones
keep the
gave
ball.
it away. Wirtz gave it away. Chief Jones did. And I was just like, I was losing my mind, Tim. I
Yes.
don't know what I was like, there was a point in the game where I've had to like break down the game a bit. For 75 minutes, Curtis Jones is the best player in the world. And then for the last 15 minutes, he's the worst player. Like, he's lost his absolute marbles in what he was doing. Like, the one where he gives the ball away to Richarlison, who nearly scores.
Yeah.
And then the one in, like, the 95th minute where him and Wirtz break away on the left-hand side. And he stops.
Yeah.
And then runs into the defender. I've never wanted someone's head on a stick more than Curtis Jones at that present time. Bring me his head on a stick. That's what I was like a dictator. Just bring me that fool's head.
He was one of those guys I expected to keep the ball.
Yes,
like,
exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, keep the ball and be like, like spin it around himself, pass it around, a couple of quick triangles next to each other, kind of a deal. I mean, again, we did. I think like my frustration was we did the same thing we did in the Leeds game.
Yeah,
where it was supposed to be a cruise just all the way to the end, and we kind of made it into a game. That Spurs game, that Spurs team was ready to go to bed. All you had to do was like tuck them in, and we were done, right? And we gave him life. I mean, honestly, it's on Frank not to put Richarlison in earlier, I think, because his shithouser would bring the stadium in, because that was the biggest thing. The stadium was abandoned. The stadium was already asleep. They were already in bed. So I think, if he put Richarlison earlier and brought the stands out, I think, it would have been a more difficult match. In some ways, I'm glad he waited till the end. But it's like, run to the corner flag, says Ryan. I mean, normally 11v11, you would say run to the corner flag. 11v9, you have so many more numbers. Just pass it around.
Just keep holding the ball. Like, they're not going to press you as a 16 press. It's 9 men. Just keep the ball. Just literally keep the ball. You do this type of stuff. Literally, for anyone who's watched footy much as a warm-up, they're in boxes. They have 2 guys in the middle and 5 lads, and they're in a box. And because the 2 guys have to intercept the ball, and they can never do it because they're professionals and they know what they're doing. Do that. Just keep the ball. Like, honestly, my mind was completely gone with them. But all of them lost their head, by the way. It's not just I'm just singing on Jones because he had the 2 big moments.
Yep.
They all lost their head. Every single player lost their head. Van Dijk kind of lost his head. The only one who never lost his head was the keeper. The keeper got the ball at one point and kind of looked around to say, are we fucking for real? Are we serious? Like, the keeper's looking at us to say, come on, lads, really? And then
you guys going to be kidding me out here. Like,
he passed it out. I think it was to Kirkers or something. And Kirkers just whacks it long and you can see Alisson looking at him to say, are you? Come on. Come on, lad. But listen, as much as it all, we can sit there and point holes. Liverpool were, again, not great. I didn't think we're not creating enough, but the manager's focused on defending right now, and I completely get that, staying in games. Liverpool have been out of games too much on the 70th, 80th minute, so I'll give the manager credit for that. We're unbeaten in 6, whether we like it or not. Liverpool should have, at least 4 more points. Sunderland and Leeds, I look at now and just think they're disgusting, really, because you could be 6 points off Arsenal. And whether we think Arsenal are going to win the league or not, whatever, we think Liverpool 6 points off Arsenal. If you're 6 points by the time you go to the Emirates, that's how I'm looking at that. Do you know what I mean? You beat them at the Emirates, you're 3 points, then you're right in it. But it doesn't look like that could be the way, because I just think it's just too many points now. But again,
not only that, do you look at this team and I still don't see this team going on like a crazy run?
You can't trust them. You don't trust them, do you? Yeah. And that was the death as well with Isak. The Isak thing's heartbreaking for him personally. It's an impact injury. It shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I've had to basically mute the Discord this weekend because there's just people trying to say, well, Isak could have braced himself for it. He's trying to score a goal, and then a big honestly, don't go back in the Premier League chat. And then a big crazy Dutchman just absolutely scissor tackled him, which is a sending off. Anywhere else on the field, it's a sending off.
Yes,
I mean, it's literally, it's a disgrace of a challenge. By the way, Van der Ven has every right to go for the ball. I'm not arguing that, right? But let's be frank here, though. If Isak hits the ball over, it's a penalty. It's a sending off, all that kind of stuff. So it's heartbreaking for him. Liverpool are dangerously short in numbers all over the field now, I feel like. I don't know how bad Wirtz is. They said it could be cramp. Could not be. Conor Bradley's gone off injured again. He makes Daniel Sturridge and Naby Keita look like fucking warriors.
Yeah, no shit.
His injury problems. He makes them look like Iron Men compared to him. So Liverpool have issues all over the field, Tim. And that's why I don't think the good thing, the big positive for Liverpool is the next 2 games are 2 at home, and Wolves and Leeds at home. Come on, you know what I mean? If you're gonna Szoboszlai suspended for Wolves, I think. But if you're gonna be suspended for the game, I'd rather be Wolves at home Do you know what I
Probably, but at the same time, man, it's like these are winnable 3 points, and then I don't want to make it so that you give away these 3 points that you should easily win. And
Has to
he
be a
is,
shot on
let's
Harvey
face
Elliott.
it, probably the key guy in that midfield, especially if you're missing Wirtz on top of it.
Can Elliott get back before Saturday? Whether you like it or not, it's a conversation to have. Can Elliott play Saturday for Liverpool? Because if he's not playing for Villa and he's fully fit and he's been training, at this point, you've got no Isak. He doesn't like Chiesa, clearly. Rio's Rio. I would argue Elliott's a better player than Chiesa. I think he's better than Rio at this point. So, you know what I mean? Is he more of an option? Liverpool have problems all over the field, massive problems. I'll be amazed if Semenyo is not announced on January the 1st at this point. But we'll see.
Hopefully him and Gehi together would be a nice announcement to have. Bob says we have 4 injured players and we have an emergency. Whole idea of small scout is crazy. I mean, it's more than 4 to be fair.
We have 4. Bradley.
You have more than 4.
Joe Gomez.
Gakpo.
Leone. I'm just going from the defense.
Oh, you're going defense. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So there's Bradley, Leone, Gomez, Gakpo. Now you've got Isak. Salah's away technically.
Endo is almost back.
Is Endo an option?
I mean, in a day like this, yeah. At times like this, yeah.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have got injuries all over the park, or people who are out all over the park. Szoboszlai, for example, for Wolves is out. Technically, you can count it as an injury if you want. So, there's massive issues all over the field, and Liverpool are going to have to grind. Again, the good thing is in the next week, they are 2 winnable fixtures at home. So, let's hope Liverpool can win.
I mean, that's the thing. In some ways, you're like, hey, the winning streak going. Like I said, the Isak injury, I was talking about that right before you hopped on. I think, you watch that moment, and this is what you paid 300 million for, right? It's like a perfectly paced pass by Wirtz, a great finish. And I don't understand how you can brace yourself and then have that finish at the same time. That doesn't even make sense because you can't. Then you're probably skying that. If you're bracing yourself for impact, you're either hitting it on the ground too low or you're skying that. You're not having that quality finish.
It's people trying to justify that argument that Isak has an injury record. They're just trying to justify an argument.
Which he does have an injury record, but I don't count these. Like, Gomez has an injury record, but I don't count him getting pummeled into the wall at the Burnley game on that.
Exactly.
That's totally different. Like, you can have an injury history and have these like other actual injuries as well. So
exactly.
Bob says he will treat Elliott's as case he can't play because he has not played much.
We just need the body at this point. It's not even about the ability anymore. It's the body. We're like, literally, I'll ask you the question: who's playing right hand side on the weekend? Because I have no idea.
Back?
No,
right wing.
Side. Both positions, right hand side and right back. Who's playing?
I guess one of them has to be Frimpong, right?
Right back, you think?
He's probably had to be right back.
Who's playing right wing? Chiesa? Is he getting his first start?
Like, I don't think you have another option, especially with I would say Szoboszlai normally, but if he's out as well, then it would have to be, I think, Chiesa, and he gets to start. Get ready to be disappointed with a Chiesa start. I almost feel like I'm shocked of how like fans are. We could go on a 10-game winning streak. People, I will still be like, why isn't Chiesa playing? Like, I don't give a damn who's playing, really, ultimately, as long as we're winning. If we're not winning, then I'm going to be like, hey, how come we're not trying this or doing that or whatever? But I feel like I don't know why, there is this so much of, I don't know, like, the guy is very likable. It's not like I don't like the player. And quality-wise, I like the player, but I just don't understand why there's this over-the-top. Like, we can win 5-0, and they were like, how come Chiesa didn't get any minutes? It's like,
I think the argument is, Tim, for Chiesa, I always think is that sometimes you should be rewarded for hard work. Sometimes you should come in, and if you play well, you should be rewarded with a start here or there. But the manager doesn't. And that's the manager's prerogative. The one I will always get with Chiesa, and I'll never get it, and I'd love to sit down with the manager, is those 4 games that they threw last season, and he didn't start them then.
Yes. And I thought that's why all summer I thought he was going to be gone, just based on that.
Yeah, because if you don't rate him in the 4 games that you throw him and everyone's an IB 10, you don't want to start him. I'm just, my head fell off there. But the argument is now with Chiesa, I suppose, is that he's come in, he's fully fitter, he's had his goals and things. But if you don't trust him to start Wolves at home, we were on record for being the worst ever Premier League side by the end of the season. Could genuinely break the points record, Derby's points record of 11 points. They could get less. Then he's never going to start a game. Maybe Barnsley. He'll never start a league game for Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you cannot trust him now to go, you are starting Wolves or home. Wolves at home. Let's be frank here, Tim. If Liverpool can't beat Wolves at home, there's a serious problems all over. You know what I mean? Like this is all those 6 games undefeated. If you don't beat Wolves at home, that's all forgotten about because this is a poor side. Is that fair to say? So I think this is probably the one he has to start now. I think it probably is the one that he will start. I've got a feeling he's going to do him. I think sometimes, Tim, I always think about this with managers, and I'm sure I've said this before to you. Sometimes you just got to give the fans what they want. Sometimes you just want to give it. Like I was having this conversation weeks ago before we went on this like kind of mini resurgence, let's say, where just start Chiesa in the game because that's what you want. Okay, I'll do it for you. And if he's shy for 17 minutes, you can go. Well, don't ask again. Like, do you know what I mean? I by the way, I remember FSG did this with Dalglish. They did it with Dalglish. Okay, you chat with Dalglish, you want Dalglish. Okay, we'll bring him in. It didn't really work. Listen, Dalglish is bang unlucky not to win 2 trophies because he should have won the FA Cup. The ball crosses the line. I'm not getting into it. He's bang lucky. Liverpool finished 7th that season, and they go, well, that was shite. So you got what you asked for. It didn't work out. He's gone. And then Brendan came in and kind of resurged Liverpool a little bit. Sometimes you just got to give the fans what they want. And those fans who are walking in there to a bit of a dire game. It's 2 days after Christmas, cold, freezing cold in Liverpool. Wolves at home. You're not expecting a Barcelona Champions League night. But the one thing that you want is that when you pick up your phone and you see the team sheet, you go, fucking hell, Chiesa starting. That'd be great. We'll have a big sing-song and sing the Chiesa song for 20 minutes and just get the fans up. Sometimes I just think you've got to do that as a manager. And I actually think if you can't do it now, when I look at the people, I'll just check the bench then, who did come on and didn't come on against Spurs. Trey Nyoni gets his Premier League debut. By the way, Nyoni was playing 5 years ago and he just got his Premier League debut with Nyoni.
No way, that wasn't a Premier League debut, was it?
Premier League debut for Nyoni, yeah. Honestly, Tim, that was his debut. My head fell off.
Dude, I've seen that kid play so many times. How was that possible?
Oh, honestly, that was his Premier League debut. He said it. The Liverpool Twitter account put it on. Premier League debut for Nyoni. Yeah.
That's crazy. So he's been played so many cup games. I feel like he's been out there several times.
He's never played the Premier League again. So that was his debut. So he's come on Nyoni there. And then I look on the bench like Rio and Lucky, Ramsey and the keeper. So if you actually look at it and think, well, Liverpool here are in the dire straits, I think Chiesa will get a start. Hopefully gets a start. I will put Chiesa.
So. I mean, I understand what you're saying in terms of
depends on the verse,
giving the fans what they want in a home game, especially
Wolves.
Here's the thing: everybody is gonna come to that game, and this is where then like everybody bitches about tourists, but the fans are not gonna be up for that game. Like the regular fans are not going to be up for that game, right? So it might be something to get them into the game in that sense. So I get that. But I don't normally get the, like Ryan was saying, just to finish off just settle the question. The question is from us. Like Slot probably has the answer to the question, or he thinks he has an answer to the question. And I don't see a manager has to be like, oh, the fans wanted, so let's play him to answer the question kind of a thing. It's his job at the end of the day. He can't be like, well, the fans wanted him, so I played him kind of a thing. It's his freaking job. He's trying to stop the bleeding, which he has, ugly or not. He has stopped the bleeding.
Yes.
I kind of talked about this the entire last international break, that this schedule is really
favorable,
helping the cause in terms of like the games that you have lined up to be able to do what we're doing. My goal was, definitely beating Forest, because then, like you're saying, we're already already up to 5 in the league, where everybody was talking about relegation and shit like that. So I'm hoping they calm the fuck down. But
for me, Tim, here, he has stopped the bleeding, and I've got to give the manager credit. He's changed the way of playing, and that's what I wanted to see. You can't just continue to lose footy matches. You just cannot continue to do that. But Liverpool have Wolves at home, Leeds at home, and Fulham away. Now, Fulham away this season's no great shakes. Fulham are not in they're not the Fulham of 2 years ago when they finished 7th or 8th, I think. It's not that Fulham side anymore.
And I think they have Bessie is gone, right?
Yes. And
Iwobi? Yeah, so they have a couple of I know it's only 2 players or whatever, but I mean Bassie's for them in the back, and
they're big plays for them. The point I'm being here is only the Leeds game's on January the 1st, the Fulham game January the 4th. So you have a way of fixing this, especially for the strikers. If Semenyo was your man in the summer, he's your man now. He's more than your man now because Salah's gone and Isak broke his leg. He's more of your man now. You can do him on January the 1st. He has the buyout clause. Everyone knows it's there. It runs out on January the 10th. You could get him in, technically, for the Leeds game if you really wanted to. But you could definitely get him in for Fulham. You could Fulham's on the 4th. Get him right for Arsenal. The reason why I'm saying Arsenal is I don't think Liverpool can win the league, but also I want as many teams as possible in the top four race. I want as many.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want one breaking away being 20 points clear. No, you want everyone as compact as possible. And then it's only 2 results that you've got to overturn, and then everyone can kind of switch places. Do you know what I mean?
It's actually not that compact now. I mean, I was looking at it last night, and
Yeah,
there's a huge gap between 3 and 4.
Villa's killed us. The Villa ones killed us. United kind of was a favour, can't they? But the Villa ones killed us because they've kind of got a bit of a gap there. Villa's now 36 points and we're 29.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've still got to, I think we still got to go to Villa Park, which feels fucking ginormous. The one thing I'd say about Villa, mate, and I don't know about you, I like Villa, I think they're playing well. They score a lot of worldies, you know.
Yes.
And I always think that I don't do XG and stuff like that, but it's just me with the eye test. They score a lot of fucking 25, 30-yard goals, and I always think they're not creating loads.
Yeah, can you do that? I mean, Morgan Roger. I mean, that game yesterday, I was kind of watching as I was like doing some other stuff, and I know like Edip was watching because obviously he's a United fan, and we were talking. And yeah, I mean, it's like just like Morgan Roger 2, United 1. It's like 2 world. I mean, really, United played that game better in some ways.
Yeah, they played all right.
It was like not the best game to watch, but you know, I thought United were better in a lot of. They at least deserved a draw out of that one. It was all like pissed because they probably at least deserved a draw out of that one. Yeah. Villa did not look that great, but Morgan Roger, man, I mean, there's like 2 worldies. I mean, that just is like unbelievable.
Very, 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 very good. Yeah, he's going to go for a lot of money in the summer, isn't he? A hell of a lot of money.
Especially if he has a good World Cup to add to it, you know.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for him as well because he's also going to be rolling into a World Cup, and then if Villa go deep in the Europa League and things like that, is he going to be playing 75 games?
No, Fenerbahce plays Villa, by the way, in like 2-3 weeks.
I know Arsenal playing Villa next week as well. Yeah, before they play Liverpool, I think, because that was my big thing. Because Arsenal's next 2 home games, and again, this is not about Liverpool winning the league; it's about condensing it. Arsenal's next 2 home games are Brighton and Villa. And Brighton can do anything to anyone. Brighton are a bag of rags. You have no idea which Brighton are going to show one day from the next. And then Villa. And Villa's been a bit of a bogey team. Remember Villa beat them a couple of years ago, 2-0 when they were going for the league. It can't cost them the league. So Villa's had some good results against them. So it's going to be interesting, Tim, I think. I don't think this is, Chelsea look a bit weird as well. Chelsea is just a weird football team. I've never seen a bunch of overrated footy players, I think.
Yeah, it's odd because it's almost like they're back to not knowing, and they do this every year almost, like they start rolling and then they start rotating, and once they start rotating, it goes to hell.
Well, we're on the same points as them when they beat us. So that's how I'm think how bad we are. By the way, we've been at least. Think how bad we've been. We're on the same points and they beat us.
Yeah.
I always think about stuff like that and I go, oh, that's how bad the team is. And by the way, I felt like 6 weeks ago, Chelsea were getting all the plaudits, like, oh, Chelsea are this and Chelsea are that. And I was like, are they as good as what they think they are? Well, I think they were, at least.
They have a lot of draws. I mean, they have 5 draws, which is like the most out of anybody on that top 5 by far. You know what I mean? Like, we only have 2, mind you. Villa has 3. City only has 1. And Arsenal have 3. So I think they're just like drawing way too many games. They have like the least wins up there. So they only have like 8 wins. So even as poor as we have been, we have 9 wins, and one of those 8 is us, which really hurts in the last second. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm just didn't Sunderland beat them at home, and they've had a couple of weird results where they've like kind of lost to like lower level teams, and I'm not fully convinced with Chelsea. I'm not fully convinced with Thingy, Cole Palmer. I just don't think he's as good as what people think he is. I just don't think he's that good. I think he's fine, but when people say, "Oh, he's like one of the best players in the world," and shit,
it's not in the world. I think he's one of the better players in the league. I don't know if he's one of the best players in the world. I think sometimes they go through, when he's out there, they go through him way too much. It almost feels like everybody relies on him. Like they're like, here, do something. Whereas I think when he's not there, that's more dangerous because you don't know. They're harder to defend because you don't know where they're going to freaking come from when he's not out there.
My thing with Cole Palmer is as well, I don't think it's a bit like Salah last season, where Salah says, I'm not going to defend, but Salah help you with goals and assists. I don't think his numbers are as good as what that you can kind of off the ball, where you can kind of say to him, you don't come back and defend. If you tell a player in 2025, you don't need to defend, you need 20 goals at least. It's just a bare minimum. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to help us off the ball, mate, when you get the ball, you best be, doing something serious. So I don't think his numbers are that good. I just don't think he's as good as what people say he is. That's all. I really don't. I don't. If he's your main man, I think you're fine.
Yeah, Bob says, "What else do you want?" I mean, I think no, I don't think like we're debating he's not good. Like, I don't think that's the discussion. He's good, but you're right. I think like I don't know. Like, I wouldn't put him in like one of the best players in the world, kind of a deal. Like, would you put him in top 10 in the Premier League though?
No,
Really?
I don't think so. Best players in the league? No, no, probably not. Haaland,
Now I asked the question I don't have the answer to, but yeah, you got to think of
Haaland.
and that's another thing. Like they have like Enzo and stuff. Like so, they built that team so that I mean, heck, they took those two defensive midfielders that we were after.
He gets 15 goals last season. Completely fair. Like, by the way, this is just based on this season for people who are like wondering. This is based on last season. He gets 15 goals. I can't say how many with pens. I feel like a lot with pens. I'd have to check this, but I feel like, you know what I mean, a lot with pens. But we'll see. I just don't think he gets you the numbers that he thinks he gets. I don't know. By the way, I just checked there. So he gets 15 last season. 4 of those goals are in one game. Is that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes this kind of like, it's like the thing with Ekatike at the moment. Ekatike's brilliant. Last 4 weeks he's been brilliant. I thought before that he'd been poor for 6 weeks, but the last 4 he's been brilliant. I'm not arguing that. And Ekatike's record looks great, but he's only scored in like 5 games because he's had a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? As much as his goals are there, I'm like, I like to look. I judge players a little bit where how many games are you affecting. Diaz's record was really good last season, but I think he gets like 5 or 6 doubles in games. And I always think he's only scored in like 10 games, 12 games out of 38 or something. And is that enough at Liverpool? You've scored in 1 and 3? I don't know, in terms of in games, of course. But again, this is not me just like digging out Palmer and things like that. I think he has a really high ceiling. I just think if he's your main man at Chelsea as a forward, I think that's a big problem. I really do. I think that's a big.
I mean, he's more there. What you want to call it? I thought actually Joe Pedro would kind of like help him even more. Get more like assistant stuff like that, like get like an actual finisher instead of like Jackson or somebody that he had, but that has not paid off yet. But I know he was out and stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I say, he's a really good player, and you would be like, "Yep, I'll take him." But I don't know if I put him as like one of the faces of Premier League kind of a deal. But yeah, Ekitike, going back to him, I mean, while he's going to be the main man now, but the good thing is I'm pretty comfortable with him being the main man.
I'm not.
You're not?
No. I'll tell you why. He can't play 90 minutes. He looked absolutely fucked on the weekend. He looks like he couldn't run.
He always does. I mean, Slot has talked about this for quite some time where, you know, he was up to 70 or so. But yeah, you do need to get him out of there eventually. And I don't know who would go in.
And this is my point now. So, like, as much as I think he's brilliant and he could lead the line for Liverpool and all this kind of stuff, yes, I think he can. I think he needs to affect the game more. But what's the sub to him? What's the sub? Because he can't run past 70. So what's the sub? So this is the other point about the Semenyo conversation. Hey, we played fucking Leeds at home on January the 1st and go to Fulham January the 4th.
Yeah.
Can Ekatike do both? He can't do 190 in a week because he had a week off before Spurs. We got another week off. If you can't do 90 at home against Wolves and we're going to be having 75, 80% of the ball and should be having at least 20 shots, then what are we doing? That's my concern with him, Tim. That's all. I think his ability, of course. What's the sub? We have no sub. So I don't know if that is it that Kieran kid, Kieran someone who's on the under 23s, meant to be really good. He played on the wing in the League Cup game, didn't you? I can't remember. Kieran Morrison. Is it Morrison?
Morrison? Not up top. He's more like a 10-ish.
What's your
option?
Or
a wing.
What's your option to come in, though, Tim? That's his argument with Chiesa. He has no option.
I think that's why you had to put Chiesa in, for example, as the sub.
That's what I'm saying. Chiesa is probably his first sub, which takes him out starting Wolves because he doesn't have a sub. So what? It comes back to the big conversation. Who are you doing right wing versus Wolves? Because he doesn't have a sub, the manager. So that's what it comes back again to the other part. Can you get Elliott back? Can you just have the?
I don't even know if he can get 90 out of Frimpong right now.
Frimpong, it was the sub who got subbed on the weekend. But yes, I think he lost his head because of the cut.
Yeah, he basically, that was so that we don't go down to 10. He said it wasn't like an injury thing. I mean, he just busted his like inside of the lip or whatever. But I just don't know, like endurance wise, if he is like, you know, if he has like the 90 right now. I mean, the funny thing is, you know, we talked last year a lot about the slot system really aiding the lack of injuries and stuff. I think that works when you're winning. And when you can control games, like when you have the slot special 2-0 and you just move the ball around and like put up people to sleep, we have not been able to do that. Even the games we've been up 2-0, we have not been able to do that. So be able to kind of like,
you can't kill games.
Almost like rest as you're playing.
We can't kill games.
Yeah.
We just cannot. There's no control in a game. We just lose control. As soon as there's a bit of adversity in a game, we lose control completely. Do you know what I mean? Like we got bang lucky on the weekend that Xavi Simons, does what he does and tries to take out his captain on the eve of a World Cup.
That is freaking crazy.
I don't know what to say to you, Tim. It's absolutely
like a dude that was frustrated. Like, I get it, because you can kind of see. Angie said, like, he looks like he's about to cry. And I was like, that's how he always looks. Like, he looked like that in the Euros, too. Like, he always looks like he's crying. Because Angie was like, he looks like he's about to cry. I'm like, no, that's how he looks. But like, for him to do that, I know there was like a lot of frustration, but I was like, dude, what are you doing? And honestly, when it happened, I was like, how is that not a red? Like, it's like cleats going to the freaking, like, he could have been out the entire year for that.
They got to the right decision. When I first seen it, I thought it's a yellow. And then when I seen it back on the VAR, I was like, that ball is so far away from him. I thought the ball was closer. And he's went for the ball. Van Dijk stepped across and okay, I can swallow that. The ball is basically left the boot to go to Alisson.
Yeah.
And then you've connected them like.
And it's weird because it's not even like a normal running thing. Like the left foot kind of extends out more than it should and stuff. I mean, he helps the cause there. And then Romero's red is just Romero. I was talking about that right before you got on air. Like, how do you make that guy a captain is beyond me. That makes zero sense to me. But I mean, that was like coming.
He's the Asian Lovren, isn't he? He's just got the Lovren gene. He's like really good on his day, really, really good. But then he'll just do something stupid. And he'll just he'll have a wild game like that where he's at fault for basically both goals. He's at fault for.
He is. Yep.
And then he gets sent off. That's the most Dejan Lovren game of all time, isn't it? It's just like genuinely. But when you see Lovren sometimes on his day, you're like, he was unbelievable there.
But you wouldn't make Lovren captain.
That's the point. You know what I mean? So he's a weird player, Sergio Romero. I'm at the stage with him where I think he wants that big move, but I don't think any big clubs will take a chance on him. I'm not saying Spurs aren't a big club, but Spurs, I always put, if you're going in categories, Liverpool and United and City, Chelsea, whatever, are Group 1, and they're the first on Group 2. Yeah. I would always have, do you know what I mean? That's how I've always looked at it. Not one of those teams will take a chance on Sergio Romero. Not one of those teams. No one would. Barcelona might take a chance because they just do something weird like that sometimes, and just take a chance on a weird player like an Aubameyang, and they've done Zlatan years ago. They'll just take a chance on a weird player. But yeah, no, I don't think a big club will kind of touch him, to be honest. The other one next to him, not Van der Ven. I think he's a player. I really do. I think I said this on Friday last week. Gali, I think it's like, if you have to offer me like the biggest 1,000 to 1 shot, who the Liverpool sign centre half, and I'm saying 1,000 to 1 guys, or plus 10,000 for that American viewers, I'd sign Van der Ven. Because I just think he helps.
We were rumored with him that summer.
Because Levy's gone now. And it's not like you're dealing with the old Tottenham, which is fucking getting blood out of a stone trying to sign one of their top players. Mm-hmm. Because Levy's gone, I just think it helps Liverpool play on the halfway line. And sometimes because of his pace.
Yeah.
His pace, he can say to Van Dijk, hey, you're not the one who can, you're not the one who has to be the last man back all the time. I can be the last man back. Do you know what I mean? I agree with people saying his injuries and that, and I completely understand that conversation as well. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think Liverpool would do it. But his profile, man, fuck me, I'd love him, I would love him.
The speed is like ridiculous. And he's good on the ball as well. Like, it's not
you
could play him as like a right back, or a left back probably is what he would be easily, and we wouldn't like skip a beat.
He gets so many goals, doesn't he? He gets like 4, 5, 6 goals every season, which is massive for a centre half. Our centre halves don't get fucking any, which is always been my.
He can make that run like Matip like runs with pace on top of it. But the injury. But I would not mind having him at all because you got. I mean, we have Gomez. Like, I don't think we're in a situation to complain about center backs being injury prone when you have Gomez in the squad.
But going back to Liverpool in signings and things, Liverpool can't sign any players unless they're homegrown. We just cannot because we've got the full quota.
Well, I mean, Guehi and Semenyo are right in that category, so you're fine there if you get those two.
Liverpool not signing Guehi. Crystal Palace will say it's the same price. Crystal Palace, okay, we're in the semi-final of the League Cup. We are in Europe. We are literally in a top 6 of European race with you. like a top 6 race, if you want to call it that, would you?
Mm-hmm.
Why would the hell are we still in the FA Cup? They got Macclesfield, I think, in the FA Cup. Why are we going to sell him now? That's if. And by the way, you lads are desperate for the centre half, and we know you're desperate. So I would, if I'm Palace, I go, it's the same money. It's 40, 50 million. It's the same money. Whether you want
saw, by the way, and my initial thought was, well, I guess that puts the gay conversation, because I know like Liverpool is going to be like, oh, look, Leone is in training. Like, he'll be back in a couple. I mean, I don't know. You have to get somebody though, don't you? There's nobody in that youth that I trust. I think I've made my feelings very well known on Mallow.
I think Liverpool will get a centre half. I think they move one of their targets up for the summer to January. I think that's what they do.
But then that would not be a homegrown guy. Most likely.
Agreed. But that's why you got to make a conversation on Endo. Now, you make the chat on Endo now. Is Endo an option? We all agree he's not an option. He doesn't start games. He doesn't even play games. So he's not an option. So the argument is, do you say to that midfield four or / Chiesa / Havertz, hey lads, you're getting us till the end of the season because we've got to do a centre half, but Endo's going. That safety blanket's gone.
I assume Japan is in the World Cup, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming so, surely.
I thought they were one of the first teams to qualify. I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty positive. You would think Endo would want to be playing before he heads on to the World Cup as well, and not just like hanging out. Maybe. So I think he would be up for it as well. And I don't know, after a while, you're like, yeah, locker room. But man, like, yeah, like you said, you need it for numbers, first of all. And there's no point in having a deep squad when, you know, you're not even dipping your fingers in the freaking depth over there and taking anybody out. That's not really depth. That's just like, you know, people. Names.
They're just names.
Yeah, it's like putting our name on the bench.
Exactly. But the only way you have a deep squad, Tim, is if you can play 25 players and you want to start doing games. That's a deep squad. A deep squad, you can have 25 bodies all you like, but if you're only going to start 15, you don't have a deep squad.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any... So you'd rather go and get a lad in who can play. And right now, Liverpool are desperate for the centre-half. We all agree with this. So the conversation is, of course, is Endo going to play? How many minutes will Endo play towards the end of the season? If that midfield all stay fully fit, McAllister, Jones, which we know how Jones is, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, how many minutes does he play?
I think I was talking about this, I think with Gordo last week. We were talking on Wednesday. Like, I think how we have changed the way we're playing now has even made Endo even less possible to play.
Yeah,
like if you were going to use him in the double pivot or whatever before, I don't think there's a spot that the things that this midfield does, you need a specific type of midfielder. That's why I think they went after like Zubamendi in the offseason and stuff last year. I mean, you need that kind of a guy who's very comfortable on the ball. To be able to play that midfield, not just a ball winner. People see like, you know, Endo is like, oh yeah, I mean, that's great. But when you have the ball, and we talked about this before, in most games, Liverpool have the ball. So if you're going to have the ball and build, he's not the guy you want on the pitch in this system. So he becomes even less valuable than he was. Brian is still going after the Ederson thing. That dude's stock really dropped, I think, over the last season and a half.
Ederson,
yeah.
I like the if you're gonna do a midfielder, I like the midfielders out of Wolves. I like Andre, and I quite like that João Gomez. And I just think if they're a bag of rags and they're getting prepared for the Championship, and Liverpool want to do a midfielder, let's say they don't want to do a centre half and they want to do a midfielder now because they're playing this 4 midfielders basically and no one else, and they go, fuck it, we can make last on centre half, which I don't think they can, but say they do. And they go, I would be amazed if they don't go and do that João Gomez out of Wolves. And just get them ready for the Championship. Clearly, you're going down. We all know you're going down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're like, but we got some fight left in us. No, you don't.
Like, the thing with the people as well, by the way, saying, oh, sell Endo, and I agree with that. Someone's got to play Barnsley. So it has to be after Barnsley. Someone has to play. That game in my mind, always, this FA Cup third round game, it doesn't matter if we play City or Barnsley, it's always in my mind. Someone has to play that game. And my God, I don't want Curtis Jones in that game. Because I would lose, you know what I mean? It's so someone has to play centre mid. Endo plays centre mid in that game. Say Naoni plays centre mid in that game. Whether you want to loan Naoni, for example, when's Jadon Dan's back? Well, I'll tell you what, if he is back next week, the rumours are he's going into training next couple of weeks. He's starting Barnsley. Because it just is what it is. Liverpool get beat by Barnsley and it's the big FA Cup shock. I don't even care. Like I'm at that point, Tim. I want Liverpool to win a cup desperately. Do I want Liverpool to finish 6th and win the FA Cup? No, not this season. Liverpool need to get back in the Champions League. Why hook or by crook? So if it has to come down to that, then again, the argument with Harvey Elliott, for example, someone has to play Barnsley. So, you know what I mean?
But my thing is, like Brian is talking about, bringing Harvey and McConnell back. I think Harvey maybe, because he did get some opportunities at least last year. But clearly, I like McConnell as well, mind you. But it goes back to, if the manager's not going to trust them, there's no point in bringing these kids back if they're just going to rot away and not play anyway, unless everybody's injured and stuff. So I don't know what
the argument with Elliott is he's contributed to Liverpool in the first team. On the numerous managers now, scores goals, he's clearly a capable player. The argument with him is he can't play for anyone else because he's played for two teams already. He can't play for the third team. He's only played for Liverpool, by the way, for the fans who don't know, against Newcastle. He came on in the Newcastle game this season, so he's played. So the conversation is he can't play anyway, so you may as well keep him around as the person of going, well, Salah's away in this new system. He would actually get minutes. If I said to you now, Tim, Liverpool are 1-0 down the game on the 75th, Werther's got to come off and you want to bring a number 10 on, who would you bring on?
Yeah, exactly. I think this system fits him better than the old system.
Exactly. And I agree with that. The argument on McConnell is I thought he's not an option until the manager starts him. I know what you're saying about Elliott. Oh, well, he didn't start games last season. Yes, but he did come on and contribute in certain games. He was there. He scored a great goal against PSG and that. He was around the place. And also, this system, I think, benefits him a lot more. I'd also trust him in big pressure moments because I've seen him in big pressure moments. Away at Palace when he scores a great goal again to PSG. Yep. And there's loads of games where he's come on and scored, or contributed and played really well. The League Cup final, he's the one who plays the pass for Chiesa. It's an unbelievable pass.
Yeah.
It's like one of those games. It's like the Daniel Sturridge goal in the Europa League final. No one talks about it, but it's an unbelievable goal because Liverpool lost. No one talking. It's such an unbelievable goal. It's genuinely a joke. It should be like literally on our walls next to like all the other great goals of Liverpool's history.
That's funny you say that Sturridge goal because I've always thought that. I was like, that's a pretty sweet goal, and it's just like it doesn't matter.
The pass from Harvey Elliott to Chiesa in the League Cup final is a joke.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable pass, but no one talks about it. So he's clearly contributed for Liverpool. I just think where Liverpool at with numbers right now with Isak, where Villa want him out, clearly. I just think Liverpool just have to do it. You just it should be done now. It should be done today. It should be announced today that he's back.
I just don't understand the points. Like, why are you having him practice there if he can just practice over here? Are they? But they're paying his wages for a guy that's just sitting around is really stupid as well for Villa's part. I know why they don't want to sign him and the PFF and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, dude, then why did you guys loan him then? Like, did they figure out the numbers after they loaned him? That's such a dumb.
I think it's one of those ones. This is the deadline day issue sometimes where you go, fuck it, we'll just take him and see what he's like when he gets here, or we'll just have a look. Fuck it, come on. It's deadline day. You know what I mean? It's 35 million. Fuck it, we'll just do that. You know what I mean? Because of this and that, and it just hasn't worked out. And I get that. But Emery is also one of those who likes a small squad. He likes his 15, 16 lads, and that's it. Yep. And sometimes it's hard to break. If you actually look at the Villa team, I've mentioned this numerous times. The main players that were signings were all Dean Smith signings. A lot of the players, Konza, I think Konza was Mings, John McGinn. So like the core of them have been around for 6, 7, 8 years. That's what the core have been around for, that Villa squad. And now they've added a few extras in. I think Watkins was a Dean Smith signing. So, and now it's quite hard to break into the team, basically. Leon Bailey couldn't break into the team, for example, and he was like the next best thing, and he couldn't break in. Sancho's on loan, couldn't break in. Rashford really couldn't, he got in. They didn't want to sign him. So they had their core of players, and, it just hasn't worked out for him. But that doesn't mean he's a bad player. Far from him.
Bob says with Klopp, Elliott would never leave LFC. I mean, to be fair, with Klopp, nobody would ever leave LFC, so that's a different story. But I think one advantage that Elliott's had was his knowledge of the system, and he had the trust. So Klopp did use him a lot more as a sub because he came out there, and the only reason at the time I think he was coming out there is he knew what Klopp wanted done. And I think he got a lot more minutes because of that. So his adjustments, I think there are some players who are like really good players. There are some players who are out there because they know the system really well. I think he was more the latter in that case. So when we switched to a different system, I think it was more of an adjustment on his part, and he couldn't earn the minutes as easily as he could with Klopp. So, but having said that, with this new system, I do think he's a natural replacement to like Wirtz or something like that after the 70th minutes coming in. Or honestly, in games, instead of just throwing in more attackers, like when you're chasing a game, that's what Klopp did as well. I mean, that's what even like Slot did, like throw out Elliott out there. So you're getting a guy who can finish, but who can also create, not just like, another guy to stand in the box and wait for the ball kind of a deal. So I think he will be valuable.
I also think he's one of those players, he's left-footed. Liverpool don't have many. Like, you can play left-footed. And then there's also parts, I really like his set pieces. I used to think his corners and his free kicks are pretty good when he used to whip a ball in. So if Liverpool, and again, Liverpool don't have a right winger going into Wolves. I'm not saying start him at Wolves, by the way. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, Liverpool don't. Literally, we have no bodies in these positions. And
when does Gakpo back?
No idea. He said
I never thought I would say that, but when does Gakpo back?
Option, is he? On the right hand side, I wouldn't want to see Gakpo on the right hand side. Fuck me, you'll kill me. You'll kill me on the right. Well, I don't know about where you see him. I don't want to see Gakpo start a game on the right hand side.
You would do like a 4-4-2 kind of a deal.
I don't want to change this.
I don't know who would be on the right.
But this formation's working, though, isn't it? This is what I'm saying. It's working. You don't want to change it. This is me going back to the point of Szoboszlai. Just find someone to play that role and don't go back to 4-3-3 or whatever it is. Just don't do it.
This is working. That's easier said than done.
Of course, and I get that. And again, I understand.
Especially in terms of like the running.
Yeah, and listen, Szoboszlai's going to be a miss. We know this, don't we? He's going to be a miss. I just don't want to see the manager change formation based on these injuries. Just stick with it and get people to play in it. Because it's making Van Dijk and Konate feel more comfortable. It's making Kerkez feel more comfortable. So do you know what I mean? Like, it's making Jones be a world beater at times in games. Unbelievable. Just stick with it. Please don't fucking start messing about with the formation now. You've stumbled onto something that's working.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I was saying this last Wednesday, like, I don't know how Gakpo fits in here, but I mean, going back to its bodies, I mean, if you could do him on the left over there.
Left, but I also think he'd be fine up front. But there we go.
Players are playing out of position. I mean, in some ways, yeah. I mean, especially, we obviously like changed the formation, and I do like it, and clearly it's working better. Defensively, it's a lot more sound, I think, than it was before. So that's like the biggest thing. By the way, yeah, Klopp said, to be fair, Klopp would say that's about everybody that is like, oh, they're practicing so hard. I feel so bad about not playing them. Meanwhile, playing the legs off of Hendo and Fabinho in the background, where they're like dragging across the pitch.
I mean, if you go back to this weekend though, Tim, because I know we probably won't have many podcasts now for the weekend because it's Christmas and that kind of stuff. Bring me your starting 11 to the table. We'll try and pick 11 lads who can play. It's Wolves at home.
Yeah.
Okay, keeper Van Dijk, Konate, Kerkez. Who are you playing right back? Or Robertson, whatever. But who are you playing right back?
I'm probably playing Frimpong right back.
Okay. So Frimpong's doing your right back. We're going into midfield. McAllister, Jones, Gravenberch. Who's doing the Szoboszlai role for you?
Dude, I worry that if we're assuming nothing is changing, correct? Like nobody's getting healthy or whatever. So I was gonna pull up who the hell we had on the bench, so I can be like, I would have put that guy in. I hate to say it. I find I can see Nioni starting this
over Chiesa.
No, Chiesa would start up top.
Well, no, because you do 4-4-2. But did you do Wirtz and Ekiti? Hey, let's just say it's the front two.
Oh, I guess. Okay, so you're counting Wirtz. Okay, so Wirtz. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Man, that's kind of like a risky midfield over there. But yeah, you almost have to then start Chiesa up top.
Okay. So
but the problem with that is that leaves you, aside from like Rio, it gives you no options to come off the bench for the fronts. So do you think there's a world where he starts Ramsey as right back and Frimpong up top, and then 60th minute or whatever puts Chiesa in? I don't think so either.
I think he's got more chance to start Curtis Jones right back. He will never touch
Ramsey so too.
In a Premier League game. You'll want to see Ramsey do 90 against Barnsley before he even gets any trust in Ramsey at all. Man, I'm at the stage where I think you have to do Chiesa, right? But as we just discussed, you don't have a sub. You have to win the game. Those 11 lads have to win the game because you don't have one.
And this is a game that I was going back to. Like, you have to win early almost and then rest as you're playing.
You could do with 2-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
You can really do it 2-0 in the first half, and then even Wolves go, don't hammer us, we'll lose our 2-0. Like, we'll just take our 2-0. Do us a favour, we're not going to come in your half, you don't come in our half, and we'll just play this out. Yeah, and I get this. But again, I always think with managers, Tim, and I think about this every manager, they always want one sub. They always want one sub.
Yeah, to be able to come in and make if you want to change the game somehow, one way or the other.
So, if Gakpo's fit enough for the bench, he'll definitely want to come on. I think that's his dream. I think his dream is to get Gakpo fit, because I think that's the only one he could probably get fit by the end of the weekend, or if Elliott's back. So that's what it comes back. This is why we're at that stage again. It comes down to the Elliott conversation. We can leave Leeds as a separate entity because Leeds is on January the 1st.
Yes.
And that means, of course, Liverpool have got a few days, but also you can fix it in the window. If you really wanted to, you could announce Semenyo today and say January the 1st he's in. You could have Semenyo on the bench for our 5 kickoff, because I think it is the late kickoff that night, 9:30. Yeah. I think he's doing Chiesa. I think he'll do Verts and Ekatike, and I think he says, and I think you might see a bench on the weekend, which will give people heart attacks on the bench.
I think so. I mean, not by choice, but yeah, if you can get Gakpo at least in there. I know he was talking about Endo being almost there, at least maybe as an option to sit on the bench and give you like 10, 15 minutes kind of a deal. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you go kind of game at a time, because you got to figure you're going to get Szoboszlai back for like the Leeds game.
Szoboszlai does Leeds, doesn't he? It's just this game, really. Szoboszlai does Leeds, and then you don't know when anyone else is at. For example, can Gakpo then do 70? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But this game, I want to let all the fans know out there, if you see the bench on Saturday, don't lose your shit, because it's going to be disgusting. And you're going to see lads that you wouldn't point out in a police lineup on the bench. You wouldn't know that they play for Liverpool. And they're going to be on the Premier League. And just don't lose your shit, because he has no other choice, the manager. He literally has zero choice in this. So.
Yeah, it is going to be bringing on the kids over there. But
by the way, Tim, we're bang lucky we're playing Wolves at home. No disrespect. He's got 3 points this season. We're bang lucky because, let's be frank, if we're going to City away, I think we'd all be a bit more. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? You're playing Wolves at home.
I mean, I worry about games. You know me. I worry about games like this more than like a regular game, because these are the games that I feel traditionally we struggle more with when you go out there saying this should be an easy one.
Like the Southampton game last year, remember?
Yep.
Oh, God, we were 1-0 down at half time, and I genuinely, I remember my reaction in the house. I was going to smash my house up, because this Wolves team are really bad. I watched the Wolves-Brentford this weekend. I watched the full 90, because I can't remember the last time I watched the full 90 of Wolves. So I was like, they can't be as bad as what I think they are. The worst than what I think they are. Yeah.
McAllister says, do you guys know what? Yeah, they're dead last. They're like in relegation. We're gonna, in the new year, I do want to bring L'Oreal more on to give us updates, but I think she's so depressed now. I don't even know if we can get her on here.
I've seen the girl who's on loan at Liverpool, and she was kind of like laughing and joking with the Chelsea players after they got whacked 9-1. And I've seen there's been a bit of a backlash about that. Supposedly she's on loan to Liverpool, but she played against Chelsea from Chelsea. And then, of course, they got whacked 9-1. And then she's like laughing and joking with all the Chelsea players at the end of the game and that. And it's just, people have kind of lost their shit. And supposedly,
my biggest pet peeve.
Supposedly, the LFC women's commentator even mentioned, like, get off the pitch. And I think she even mentioned the commentator, which is not great. I need to look into it a bit more. But yeah, supposedly it wasn't like.
Okay, that sounds juicy. Well. See, this is why we got to bring L'Oreal on to give that. Christmas, what's the plan? What does a Kazi Christmas look like?
This year's different. Christmas Day, we're actually hosting Christmas Day this year for the first time.
Ooh.
Yes, and then
in the new mansion.
I wouldn't say that as such, but in the new house. And then on the day after, the Boxing Day, my mum and dad are coming into town.
Oh, okay.
They're coming for like 2.5 weeks, but on the 27th, we're going back to Vegas for 4 days in an Airbnb, a whole family thing.
Oh, okay, nice.
Airbnb with a park and a pool, and it's got like a play area outside and things. It's like a nice 4 days, Tim. So yeah, what are you doing, Tim?
The girls are coming. So I think actually Layla's coming back home today, and then with their work schedules and stuff, life gets difficult as they get older. So cherish the kids while they're young, and they're home all the time where you're trying to get rid of them. But yeah, they're coming home. So yeah, it'll be like the family traditional Christmas Day thing going with 4 or 5.
I want to mention a pet peeve before we go. How dare they take away my Boxing Day games? Right, the Boxing Day calendar in the UK, mate, is sacred. You don't.
Yeah, I was shocked actually.
You don't. It's like touching NFL. like the NFL Christmas Day calendar. You don't touch it. No, because NFL games. No. To have, I think it's only one game on Boxing Day, and it's not all 10 games. So you for years ago, for the fans who don't know, years ago used to be all 20 teams playing on Boxing Day. That was the thing. All 20 teams playing on Boxing Day. I understand it's nice for the lads because I know Van Dijk has kind of said we got the day off Christmas Day, and it's his first ever day off in England on Christmas Day, and that's lovely for the family and shit.
Yeah.
But fuck me. Boxing Day was always for the lads.
I'm happy for you, but
Boxing Day's for the boys. That's how it used to always go down. Christmas with the family, Boxing Day's for the boys. That's how it used to always work. You're in the pub early kick-off, all the 3 o'clock, the R5.
And then you chill. It's kind of like the American Thanksgiving almost, right? Like you just sit all day and watch sports kind of a thing.
I've agreed to drive to Vegas on the 27th because I was like, well, Liverpool are just going to play on Boxing Day, so that's fine. Not even checking the game. By the way, I agreed to this like 4 months ago, like when we decided to do this trip. And I was like, oh, don't worry, actually, Liverpool will play on Boxing Day, it's fine. No, 27th. So now I'm going to be sitting there driving through the desert with a phone with basically no signal trying to watch Liverpool
play. I'm glad. So the game is on Saturday?
27th, yeah.
That's good because actually on Sunday, going back to the week plans, is Layla's birthday. Poor kid is born right after Christmas. And she's turning 21.
Oh, baby.
So we are actually doing like a mini bar hopping with, 4 of us doing like a mini bar hopping. Eat a snack, have a cocktail here. Eat a snack, have a cocktail there. We're going literally different bars to bars in Chicago.
How expensive does this get for you then? 21st and a Christmas all at the same time. This is like, oh, baby, this is a pricey one. This is a big Christmas for you.
I don't know, like in some ways, within 4 days, she's just showered with like tons of gifts, but then there's like a drought the entire year. So yeah. I don't know if she likes that or not, to be honest with you, but it should be fun. So awesome. Yeah, it's going to be the pub crawl, but our pub crawl is going to be like a little drink and an appetizer here, drink and appetizer here, and this all.
Can't go to pubs in the US. They're too fucking far away. In the UK, in the space of like a mile walk, there's like 15 pubs. So that's why they call it
in downtown Chicago. I am told that this might be because otherwise I'm going to bitch and moan because it's cold as fuck in Chicago. But I am told everything is within a couple of blocks. But I will be back next Monday to report on this to see if it was actually within a couple of blocks or I froze my balls off going from one location to the other. That remains to be seen. They're not going to tell me now it's a walk because I'm going to be like, fuck that. I'm not walking that. But I'm told everything is close.
Freezing your balls off if the Wolves get a last-minute equaliser, and you're going to be like absolutely livid, aren't you? I can see it now, Tim. Strand Larson popping up at the back post.
Oh, fuck that, dude. That's my biggest fear. But, hey, that's it for us today. Thanks for hopping on, Kazi. Thanks to all those in the chats. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. If you haven't liked this, our Christmas gifts from you should be spreading the word, hopefully. But a lot more coming in your new year. I should be on Wednesday morning on Christmas Eve. So we'll do like at least a short one. I don't know. I think Gordo is on too, but if I do not see you guys until then, I'll be back tonight, I mind you, on Monday too. But if you're not in the chats, have a great Christmas, happy holidays, whichever one you celebrate. And you too, Kazi. And I'll be back, like I say, tonight, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Take care.